Hi, this is Larry with ManCave Mayhem. Today we're doing a 2007 Plus. This is how to change your final gear oil or your transmission oil. Yeah, I know, he's here too. On a Suzuki Burgman 400.
And it's a 2009.
This is a 2009, but it'll work on anywhere from a 2007 on up. And this is kind of what we're going to go after right here. We're going to use a 8mm socket, and we're going to start taking covers off, and socket and ratchet. So we're going to pull this whole cover off. This is a plastic cover, and I believe this is actually your CVT filter, but we'll take a look at it and see. We'll let you know how that goes, but we're going to go ahead and start that process now. Wes thinks he's going to get that off without pulling that leg shield. He might. We'll see.
There's one right here.
Yep.
Behind the leg shield.
That doggone leg shield.
Poopy.
We are going to remove that leg shield so we can get to this dumb cover. Let's see what we get. This is going to be, I'm betting this is the CVT filter right here that he's pulling off.
But I can't even get it off because of the leg shield.
So we're going to start that leg shield and get that pulled off, and we'll let you know what happens here. All right, so like I said before, there's plastics. We removed the leg shield, and you can see this is the cover right here. And this is the CVT filter cover. So when you pull that off, here's the CVT filter. It looks like it needs to be cleaned. It's kind of dirty, but that protects your belt and everything from getting a bunch of debris and crap in it, because it does suck air in there, and that cools. There's actually a fan that spins that cools that belt and keeps that belt cool while it's running, because there's no liquid on the belt or anything. So here's that other screw that we were trying to get that cover off. So we're pulling this out of the way. We basically just pulled this cover out of the way, which wasn't very difficult. Suzuki invented these exciting little pins that I've showed you in some of my other videos, that basically when you have them popped out like that, the pin's able to squeeze closed. You slide it in and then just pop it down, and that locks it in place, and that's what holds this leg shield on. Wes is going after that.
Three screws.
Yeah, there's like 3 screws on that. Then Wes is going after that doggone last bolt, and we're going to pull this plastic cover, hopefully, without having to remove all the other crap. And just be careful, you don't want to break all the plastics on it.
It's a nice long dog too.
Okay, so here we are. We got the cover off. We got the bolts out of this. We still need to take this metal cover off. This is the metal cover that actually covers the dry clutch. And here's the, you can see down here. Let me pull this up a little bit. Right down here, that's going to be your drain plug for your transmission, or your final drive oil on this. And you need to pull this cover off to inspect your belt and just kind of check your clutch out and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and pull this cover. It's still got a bunch of screws in it. You can see them here. But you also have to pull the cover to add the oil, I believe. The actual oil fills under this cover. So we're going to go ahead and do that now, and we'll see where that takes us. Okay, so we got that cover off. It was a pain in the rear end. There's a 10 bolt, and they're 8mm. And that exposes your centrifugal clutch and your CVT belt. And to take all this off, you can pull, at this point you can pull this off to inspect it. A lot of people use a clutch removal tool. A lot of times I just use an impact to get that off. We're not going there. Everything looks pretty decent. Thing's only got 9,000 miles on it. The belt's good. So we're gonna drain the gear oil. Actually, and it takes motor oil, so I'm saying gear oil, but it's for the transmission. So right here is the fill bolt. Wes is on the drain bolt right now, getting that off. Takes 180 milliliters of 1040 weight motor oil. And this has got 9,000 miles on it. We'll see what it looks like. Looks like crap, especially when it drains on my floor. But yeah, it's pretty dirty, actually. So I'm guessing that nobody's drained this before. This is probably the first time it's been done. Wes bought this used, but we're going to go ahead and service it. Should be fine. It's not terrible shape by any means, but it's definitely dirty and could use some oil. I would also pull that top plug, which we'll do just to vent it a little bit. It'll drain faster. but there's really not that much oil in it to worry about. But he's going to go ahead and pull that top plug right now at my command, and hopefully he doesn't hurt himself. Looks like he might.
Maybe pull or
I would use a little longer extension or a longer ratchet. I would use that ratchet right there.
would you?
Yes, I would. But yeah, it's not the easiest process. And these pins, I would even maybe put a little grease on these pins to make that slide off easier next time. And also, it likes to hang up right here, and that's where the clutch goes into that bearing on the housing cover. There's a housing cover bearing right there, so that clutch rides in that bearing, and so it's kind of a snug fit. So trying to get this cover off is you just got to work at it. And that cover also has a gasket, and they do that because they want to keep the dirt out of this thing. So that's why the CVT, this is the cooling fan for the belt. And so that's why it has a filter on it to kind of keep the debris out of it. Wes just broke his knuckles and he broke the bolt loose, which is a good thing. Hopefully he'll bleed out on my floor and I can just sweep him up and put him in the trash. But I could never be so lucky. So actually, by the time it took for him to get all the crap and get the bolt off, it is already drained. So taking that bolt off didn't really help him much. But anyhow, that's it. We're going to go ahead and show you how to put the oil in now.
That's right.
Yeah, so anyhow, but this, we got these on Amazon, or Wes gave these to me. But it takes 180 milliliters. These are 60, so you're going to use 3 of those. And I think what's going to happen is the reality of it is once it gets full, it's going to drain out of this hole, and you just cap it. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so Wes is going, and he's going to go ahead and put the first syringe in there. Fill that bad boy up. Boom, see? Easy as pie.
Pumpkin pie.
First one's in, and we're just going to go from there. Full now. It's draining out. So Wes is going to go ahead and cap that bad boy, and we'll be ready to rock and roll and put this thing back together. It's a lot easier going back together than it is coming apart, that's for sure. Well, you figure this thing has been down at the beach, and it hasn't been taken apart ever, so this first time it's probably going to be a little difficult. So that's it for this. Just remember to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget,
We're just a men.
we're just a men.
We're just men.
Yeah, there we go. In a cave causing mayhem. Thank you.